So hi, I'm Nancy and welcome to Soul TV. Today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite recipes. I have many favorites, I think you may have noticed by now, but one of my favorite raw Italian meal recipes. So yes, you can have a completely raw Italian meal, gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, and it tastes absolutely fantastic. I think this is one that you're going to want to make for your family. So how do you make an Italian meal without having any gluten? Well, you can buy some gluten-free pasta, but we're going to use all fresh fruits and veggies. And actually the tomato is a fruit, so we're going to call that a fruit, but we're going to be using, this is going to be a completely raw meal using just vegetables. So first off, I'm going to make our veggie pasta. So I'm just going to take a zucchini squash and I'm going to use my little spiraler. Now you can get one of these spiralers online. Oops, I made it a little bit too long. You can get one of these. I just got mine online and it was only about $15 or $18. Really inexpensive. And just look at that. Beautiful noodles made out of raw zucchini squash. Really low in calorie. Actually very inexpensive too. And you're getting all those wonderful nutrients right from the earth. Not processed pasta. Let's take a look. Isn't that gorgeous? Looks just like spaghetti noodles. So this is my SpRAWghetti raw Italian meal. So I'm just going to place that on the plate. Isn't that beautiful? Green. Now, have you ever had raw veggie noodles? So easy. You can also do this with a carrot or many other vegetables, as long as you've got something that's kind of straight, and then you can make all sorts of wonderful noodles with it. So I'm just going to set this aside. So we've got our noodles, so now we're going to make our pasta. Again, very simple. I have my recipe here so I don't forget anything. So you want to choose some beautiful, fresh, ripe tomatoes. You don't even need to slice them or dice them up. You can put them right in your blender or in your food processor. And actually, I may just cut these in half just to make it a little bit easier. Otherwise, my blender might get a little bit too full. Tomatoes are really rich sources of lycopene, wonderful antioxidant to fight cancer. Now we're going to add a half a cup of sun-dried tomatoes. These are just dried, so they are still considered a raw food. Now I did soak these for about 15 minutes just in some filtered water. I love the smell of sun-dried tomatoes. So we're going to add those in. This is going to be part of our marinara sauce. I've already chopped up a half of a red bell pepper, and actually I just used the other bell pepper, the other side of the bell pepper as a little boat for that bell pepper. So we're going to add that. And then about a quarter cup or more of basil. I really love basil, so we're going to add a little extra in there, but a quarter cup will do. 1 clove of garlic. Garlic, oh my gosh, garlic is so amazingly wonderful for you. Of course, I think everybody's heard about the health benefits of garlic. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of agave, made from the agave cactus, and this is a raw agave. Just to add a little bit of sweetness. The tomatoes, it kind of goes really nicely with the tomatoes. And then I'm just going to use some dried oregano. And this is organic dried oregano that I got at the store. 1 teaspoon of oregano. little bit of salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon, and a dash of pepper, little bit of Italian seasoning besides the oregano, just whatever your favorite kind is. Always try to get organic. And then we're just going to place we've placed all of these things in the blender, and now I'm just going to blend up our marinara sauce. Super quick, super simple, so much faster than making a traditional Italian meal, and so much more healthy for you because it's all raw. You're not losing any enzymes in cooking your food. So let's go ahead and blend that up. And I'm going to leave it a little bit chunky. Well, maybe I'll go a little bit more. Let's give that a taste. It's a little bit chunky. I like chunky. Delicious. It's so fresh. Oh my gosh, I can taste the basil, I can taste the fresh tomatoes. I wish I could give you a taste right now because this is so delicious. So I'm going to set this aside just for a moment. And I've just got a couple other little ingredients that we're going to use. Actually, I'm going to take one of these tomatoes and I'm just going to chop it slightly. Move this over a little bit, just so that we've got some nice color. And this is a really rough chop, just so we've got some color to go in our pasta. Moving these aside, give you a nice view of what this pasta really, really looks like. Tomatoes are, of course, a wonderful source of lycopene. And so this doesn't really look like a traditional sauce that you would get at home. It's got a lot of sun-dried tomatoes in it, so it gives it that little bit of a brown color. But if you don't, you could always just use less of the sun-dried tomatoes. And in any recipe that I show you, please feel free to change it and to make it your own and to add other ingredients and really just have fun with your food. We're really meant to have fun with our food and enjoy it, and really everybody has different tastes. So now I'm just going to add just a little sprinkle of green onion, a little bit of olives, some raw olives, and then I'm just going to cut up a little of this wonderful fresh parsley, because we've used that fresh garlic, which can be a little bit hard to be around people after you eat fresh garlic, but parsley actually counteracts that. The chlorophyll in the parsley will actually help so that you don't have that garlic breath. Maybe just put a little slice of tomato on top, a little sprig of basil, and there you go. You've got a just delicious and nutritious, healthy raw meal in minutes. So anyway, let's taste it. Of course, we have to taste it. You can twirl this pasta, mock pasta, just like you would in an Italian restaurant. I'm getting a little piece of tomato. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Believe me, you're gonna love it. So another option is that you can add some raw cashews to this meal, and then you're going to get some nice protein. You're also going to get that Parmesan cheese effect. So I just put a few cashews, a little handful of cashews, right in my coffee grinder that I only use for seeds and nuts. Grind them up. Whoops. Could have had this done. Grind them up. And you can see that I've used this coffee grinder a lot. It's kind of got a lot of wear and tear on it. And you can just add that in as a Parmesan, like a Parmesan cheese. And it really is amazingly delicious. I love raw cashews done this way. I use it for all the time for a substitute to cheese. You can actually make a cheese with Parmesan, with cashews, and we'll do that another time. So I've got another option for you today. For those of you that would like a warm meal, but still want something really highly nutritious, I decided I'd go ahead and show you an option. And so we're going to use the same pasta, the same raw sauce, but we're going to make our spaghetti out of a spaghetti squash. Now you may have seen these in the supermarket. If you haven't seen them, they're really, really wonderful. Now I baked this squash for about 40 minutes at 375. And you can see I de-seeded it first. And now, here's the trick. You just take a fork, and there you go. Just makes beautiful noodles. Veggie noodles, and these have a sweetness to them. You know, this wonderful squash has a nice sweetness. It's just so delicious. My kids love spaghetti squash, and in fact, they would rather have spaghetti squash than a traditional pasta, if that tells you anything. So, really, really low in calories, highly nutritious. Again, we're just going to use some of our raw sauce, or you can use a traditional sauce in the store, or you know, as long as you can find an organic tomato sauce. Kind of making a mess here, darn it. Anyway, sprinkle on a little bit of our cashew cheese. Maybe add a few onions. And there you go. This is another really, really delicious Italian meal. Really quick, really easy, highly nutritious. Got one more option for you. If you're worried about protein, you could actually just saute up some tempeh. Tempeh is a fermented soybean, and when you can get it in the health food store, and it's actually a better quality than tofu. It's actually a better source of protein than tofu. Has more protein than tofu. And you just saute this up like you would a ground meat. Now, I'm a vegetarian, so I don't use meat. So you just grind it up, just crumble it up in a little bit of olive oil and some garlic and some onion. You can brown it a little bit, and you can add that to your sauce. So I hope I've inspired you to try some new foods and try some raw meals, some raw main meals in your diet. Thank you again for joining me at Soul TV. I'm sending you so much love and light and so many blessings for a happy and a healthy life. Namaste.